Picture Marcus, 32 years old, laughing like he just won the lottery. He walks into a luxury dealership and slams a briefcase down on the desk. 40 grand in cold hard cash. Marcus lifts his chin, oozing with arrogant confidence, and says, "I'm paying straight cash. No loans, no debt, no headaches." The salesman flashes $1 million smile and bows like Marcus is a king. But the second that salesman turns his back, the camera zooms in. That respectful smile, it turns into a sinister, greedy smirk. Marcus thinks he is the ultimate winner here. He thinks he is the smartest guy in the room because he dodged the banks. But he has absolutely no clue. That loud laugh of his is the exact sound these dealerships pray for. They just completely fleeced him, and he is actually smiling about it. Right now, you probably think Marcus is a financial genius. Cash is king, right? That is the garbage advice your broke uncle told you. You think skipping that auto loan means you actually beat the system. Let me hit you with the brutal truth. Marcus did not save money. He just committed financial suicide. He confused dodging interest rates with throwing his hard-earned wealth into a burning pit. Because the exact second he drives that shiny black SUV off the dealership lot, all those stacks of cash he worked so hard to save, they literally turned to ash. He just dumped all of his liquid money into the absolute worst investment on the planet. A heavily depreciating piece of metal that is bleeding value every single time the wheels spin. Let's ride with Marcus. On his way home, he is cruising in that brand new leather interior, soaking up the jealous stares from his neighbors. He starts doing that amateur math in his head, feeling like a Wall Street broker. If I financed 70% of this car over 5 years, I would have paid 8 grand in bank interest. I paid cash. I basically just put $8,000 straight into my own pocket. I beat the banks. Sounds completely brilliant, right? Fast forward, exactly 3 years. The economy shifts. Inflation is skyrocketing and squeezing everybody dry. Marcus hits a massive, unexpected wall with his business. He desperately needs 15 grand to cover payroll and keep his cash flow alive. Not next month. He needs $15,000 in cold hard cash by Friday. But there is a massive crushing problem. Marcus doesn't have the cash. His entire financial safety net, his entire emergency fund, is sitting in his apartment parking garage, frozen, locked up, completely useless to him. And that $40,000 SUV he was so proud of, it took a brutal 35% depreciation hit. It is barely worth 26 grand on a trade-in today. So what does our cash as king genius do now? He is completely cornered by his own terrible decision. He is forced to panic sell his beloved car to a used car shark for pennies on the dollar. Or worse, he has to go beg a predatory lender for a toxic title loan just to survive the week, all because he locked up his lifeblood liquidity in a sinking asset. He thought he was avoiding debt, but he actually trapped his own money in a steel cage. Let's rip the roof off this dealership and expose their dirty little secret. Why do you think that salesman actually smirked when Marcus slammed down the cash? Because car dealerships do not make their real money selling you a piece of metal. They make their absolute killer profits in the F&I room, finance and insurance. When you finance a car, the dealership gets a massive fat kickback from the bank. They sell you the loan, they secretly mark up the interest rate, and they print money on the back end. But when you walk in screaming, "I'm paying cash," you instantly destroy their biggest profit center. You become their absolute worst nightmare, a dead-end buyer. So what do? They punish you. They secretly claw that profit back by forcing you to buy overpriced accessories, useless warranty packages, and inflated dealer fees. Or worse, they flat out refuse to give you the massive thousands of dollars rebate that is only available if you use their financing. You think you walked out a winner, but they literally just shifted the numbers around and robbed you blind while you shook their hand. Let's stop right here for a second. If you are buying a car tomorrow, are you writing a huge check just to sleep easy? Or are you just letting the dealership play you? Drop cash or finance in the comments right now. I am about to show you exactly why you are either in the 90% who lose their shirts or the 10% who keep their wealth. Let's look at the cold hard math. Let's do exactly what the wealthy do. Instead of dumping 40 grand in cash, Imagine Marcus only puts down 30%, $12,000 out of pocket. He finances the remaining 28 grand at a decent 8% fixed rate. Now he takes that $28,000 of liquid cash and actually puts it to work. He throws it into a solid index fund or uses it to scale his business, generating an average 12% return. He is literally borrowing money at 8% to make 12%. That 4% spread, that is free money he is printing while he sleeps. And meanwhile, what is the car doing? It is aggressively DIing. It loses 15% of its value in the very first year. Then it bleeds another 10% every single year after that. If you pay cash, you are taking 100% of that depreciation hit directly to your net worth. But if you finance, you are letting the bank hold the bag on a dying asset, while your actual money is out there multiplying. Let's look at the scoreboard after 5 years. Scenario A, the cash buyer. Marcus is sitting on a depreciated $20,000 car and zero liquid cash. Scenario B, the smart financer. You have the exact same car, but you also have a massive compounded investment portfolio. You have an emergency fund. You have leverage. You have absolute power over the dealership. Here is the brutal, unapologetic truth that nobody wants to hear. Dropping a massive bag of cash on a car does not prove you are wealthy. It does not prove you are financially savvy. It only proves you have a completely irrational emotional fear of debt. Truly wealthy people absolutely never use their own liquid cash to buy depreciating liabilities. They use cheap debt as a strategic weapon. They leverage the bank's money to buy the liability, and they weaponize their own cash to build empires and generate massive passive income. Marcus thought he bought total peace of mind. But exactly 3 years later, he is sitting behind the wheel of an aging, depreciated piece of metal, staring out the sunroof, completely broke and desperate. He is suffocating because his entire net worth is trapped in a sinking metal cage while inflation eats his business alive. Paying straight cash did not make him safe. It just made him silently, brutally poor. But here is the ultimate terrifying trap. If you think paying cash is a massive mistake, getting a car loan the wrong way is 10 times deadlier. Because dropping all your cash on a depreciating piece of metal doesn't make you safe. It just makes you illiquid. But you know what is actually worse? Walking blindly into that dealership finance room, signing a massive stack of confusing paperwork, and stepping straight into the toxic floating interest rate trap. The banks are literally banking on your financial ignorance. They will lock you into a predatory contract that absolutely bleeds your monthly income dry before you even realize what hit you. You need to know exactly how to negotiate a bulletproof loan contract, or they will skin you alive. Click the video right here, right now, to expose the bank's dirty financing traps before you sign your financial death warrant.